Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about how beautiful this movie is. Let's talk about it. Reminder, I've got a new channel with cool content. That channel is called Loverboy Media. Check it out. Okay, so Old Man and the Gun is the new film from writer-director David Lowery, who did A Ghost Story last year. Obviously, that was one of my top 5 films of the year. And this film has been billed as kind of the final outing of Robert Redford. It's meant to be his final screen performance. And that's something I actually want to talk about with spoilers at the end. So stick around at the end of this video if you want to know what really made this movie for me, because I can't really discuss it without spoiling a bunch of stuff. Anyway, in this movie, Robert Redford plays a career criminal with an addiction to robbing banks, and this movie follows his exploits as well as the detective that's hot on his heels with the hopes of catching him, who is played by Lowery favourite Casey Affleck, and another brilliantly understated turn. The movie playfully addresses the fact that it is kind of based on a true story, though it's really only in concept, so I guess that whole thing is kind of irrelevant here. What is relevant, however, is how mighty this film feels as a send-off to Redford. It's a role tailor-made for an industry legend, for a screen legend who's been doing this for 50 years. It's mixing charm and charisma and comedy and tenderness into a swan song that feels right for an actor trying to go out on a high note, and it is definitely a high note. It's some of the best, most weighted acting you're gonna see all year, particularly in its final minutes. Redford really does bring his A game here, and the film definitely rises to meet him. Lowery and cinematographer Joe Anderson bring this perfectly realised 70s aesthetic to the table that really lends the film this sense of smoothness and relaxation. The whole thing just flows with this easygoing energy that totally matches the kind of laid-back intimacy of the storytelling. Despite how much of the movie is an ode to Redford's career, it feels really in the moment, like the film is almost matching the attitude of its central character. All the actors here fall into the rhythm of the movie, no matter the size of their role, while still getting moments to shine, except for Keith Carradine, who's almost entirely cut from this movie. I'm sure those scenes will pop up as deleted scenes later on, but he's like in the movie for a couple of seconds max, which is kind of weird. But anyway, the movie really kind of shines, particularly in the moments that are shared between Redford and Sissy Spacek, who are just a joy to watch because they're going through this really fantastic dialogue, so much kind of history that they're bringing to the screen, their careers. You can really feel that they're drawing from all of this stuff. And it's just an absolute joy to watch. I used the term rhythm before, and I want to focus in on that for a second to give a shout out to the score by Daniel Hart, who impresses once again with a consistent, ever-present concoction of acoustic, folk, jazz, something like that, but it's just gentle and fluid, and it's just right for this story. It just really gives the narrative this really juicy kind of drive and this nice little texture underneath. It just keeps things really kind of cool. Old Man and the Gun really is cool, or let's upgrade the word cool to slick or suave. Actually, suave's probably the best word for it, and saying that has probably aged me by about 50 years, suave, but it is kind of the best way I can describe it. You get to just kick back and relax and just drink in the majesty of this thing for an hour and a half. And it's amazing. And I do want to make it clear, in case I'm understating it, this really is one of the best movies of 2018. It's not loud or flashy, but it's not really all that reserved either. I think it's exactly where it's supposed to be, and that is weirdly fitting for a movie that's so much about the search for satisfaction in life and where we can find it. It's a movie about a maverick that just does what he loves doing, and even though that thing that he loves is probably at least a little bit questionable, this old man and his gun will totally win you over. At least it should. It did for me. Okay, so what I want to cover just quickly is how this film, and more specifically its ending, kind of made so staggeringly brilliant by the context surrounding it. Now, obviously this movie was originally intended as Robert Redford's swan song, and you definitely get the sense of that as the movie is wrapping up, because it's got this gorgeous montage of Forrest Tucker's kind of previous prison escapes, all these times he's broken out. It's this great montage, fantastic stuff. But then he's like, he's been locked up again, and this time he's like, nope, I'm done. I'm going to see this through. I'm going to be, wait till the sentence is over. Once I'm released, I'm just going to retire and live out a normal life. But then in the final moments, he thinks to himself, you know what? Just one more, and then he goes and robs 4 banks, which is an amazing footnote for the character's journey on its own. But what really rocked me is that Robert Redford has since doubled back on his retirement claim, saying that, you know what, I probably will act again. I probably will do one more, or one more after that, or we don't know. But I think that that parallel between him and the character and this whole thing, the whole movie, we've felt like it's going to be this great kind of retirement story for Redford and for this character. All of a sudden it just kicks up at the end and goes, you know what, I might go again. I don't think that ending could have been any more brilliant. Okay, so those are my thoughts on Old Man and the Gun. Have you seen it yet? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like this video? Well, of course you did. You can subscribe to this channel down there somewhere. You can also check out my new channel, Loverboy Media. I've just posted a Why I Love video on the band Brockhampton with one on La La Land on its way. So if you want to see those videos, head over and check out that channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at Loverboy Media and on Instagram at Breaking Banter. And we also have a Patreon here on this channel. Thank you so much to anyone who is already pledging to us on there. If you do choose to support us, we offer a bunch of cool rewards, including early access to videos and some cool behind the scenes stuff. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.